Hi guys, in this video I'm going to talk to you about how to do a super simple culture survey for your business, your organization. This is obviously going to be related to understanding your culture better, being able to change it, being able to know what's working, what's not working. For broader support with how to actually do culture change, check out my other videos. I've got more content on how to do culture change and also on how to do a broader assessment of culture beyond just doing a culture survey. You know, I've got another video on that, so do subscribe to the channel for those. This video just focusing on culture survey, really on the what and the how. And I'm going to give you some real specifics of the questions you should ask that will really get to the nub of really knowing what your culture's about and where you might want to, make changes. So just on the how, because that's kind of the easier part to get over. Sending out a survey should really just be, using a tech platform to send out a survey with the questions to your employees via a link. They fill it in anonymously and then, the data is collected centrally. Just to give you some examples, there are loads of places you can go now to get free survey capability and anyone can configure it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. SurveyMonkey, probably the biggest and well known, but just to read off a few for you: Survey Sparrow, Google Forms, HubSpot, Survey Gizmo, Question Pro. These are like the top kind of survey tools out there at the moment. There's loads of others. Do have a look, really simple. I wouldn't pay anyone or build anything particularly because you don't need to. You can do it this way really easily. Second thing on the how is, you want to make it anonymous to make sure you get candid answers. You want to send it to as many people as you can. I mean, really, I'd send it to all employees. If you don't, you've kind of got to explain why you haven't, which can be a bit strange. I would send it to them all. And on timing, really with culture, you want to look at it every 6 months to a year. Don't have more than kind of 20 questions. It's got to be something you can confidently say, this won't take you more than 10 minutes so that people do respond. I would send the survey out and not give anyone longer than a sort of week to get going on it. I would get, leaders and others to kind of reiterate a message, reminders, get people doing it, talk about why it's important, talk about the fact that you're going to share the results candidly, and you really should, otherwise it just defeats the purpose. And with any culture survey also, I'd make sure it's less questions, it's more statements that people can then rate from strongly agree to strongly disagree, that type of thing. I mean, you can pick what you want on your scale. It's called Likert scales. If you look up Likert scales, there's lots of different ways you can do it. But I would have statements. People can basically rate how much they agree with the statement or not as a representation of your culture. So for example, our culture is highly collaborative. Strongly agree, strongly disagree. Easiest way to do it, easiest way to get responses. Possibly at the end then you might want to think about having a couple of open-ended questions so you can kind of ask, generally, do you think we have a positive culture? Why? Please provide some commentary. You want to try and get some commentary, some anecdotal evidence so that you can kind of piece that together and really share, bring to life what the data is showing. So that's kind of quickly on the how. And as I said, I've got another video with more detail on that. On the what, to make it really, really simple, I'd focus on 3 areas. And I know I've kind of bundled quite a few things in here, but the 3 really are values, purpose, and behaviors. I know that sounds like a lot. You could just call it purpose and values. And in there, you really want to be talking about, do people get our purpose? Do we have, values that feel authentic? And do we live by them? And do our behaviors demonstrate that? Second one is all about teams and performance and how people work together. So you could call it brilliant teams and performance, something like that. Good to kind of label the areas. So in the survey, you could label the section, we're now going to ask you about how you feel about teams and performance in our business. And then you have 5 questions, 5 statements, or something like that. So in this section, it's really about how people work together, the general way that people team, or not as the case may be, whether knowledge is shared, collaboration, just generally the working patterns within the business, and also the kind of performance culture. So people take pride in their work. Is there a high level of quality? Do people care? That type of thing. And then the third one is leadership. And within that, you've got to have a whole range of stuff around whether leaders are accountable, transparent, the vision, the strategy of the business. Do people get it? Are leaders visible? Are they accessible, etc.? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read off some of the questions I've used previously with clients in their surveys that have worked really well. I'll give you 3 from each and you can literally just use them in your survey. So again, these are statements. So if you take the values and behaviors section that I said up front first. So one really good question, statement. I keep saying what I've said not to do. Our organization creates a clear and compelling sense of purpose. Really good question to have, really interesting insights that you'll get on that, depending on whether people really know, what are we really all about. Our organization has clear and positive values And this should be regardless of whether they're communicated or not. Do people know what they are? Are they clear? Do they feel good? Do they feel like they represent the business? Our organization's values are fully embedded within our ways of working. Crucial question here. We've got the values. I sort of get the purpose, but ultimately day to day, do I really feel like people are behaving this way? Is this really reflected in what's going on the ground? Really key question. And there's a few more you could also ask. I fully support our organization's values. Our values are communicated consistently, that type of thing. But yeah, so really good idea to kind of focus on that piece and understand what's going on there. Then on the teams and kind of performance piece, big key question to ask. Our organization delivers effective business results. Strongly agree or disagree? Really key question to sort of understand. Does it feel to our people like we actually deliver the stuff we aim to do? Are we really delivering on what we've said we're going to do? People in our organization regularly demonstrate high quality in all aspects of their work. Another really interesting one. And again, whenever you get the results of these, you can then pick underneath. If it's low, why is that? Is it because people don't care? Is it because we just don't really have a fast-paced, work hard enough culture sometimes? Is it because people aren't able? Not really sure. They don't have the right tools, processes, technology to help them. Final question in this area, I would pick our organization encourages and enables teamwork and collaboration. And now the enables piece is really key. I wouldn't use a culture survey to ask lots of questions about process and tech and org design and kind of complicated things, but ultimately you do want to use it. So for that statement, for example, if it's no, our organization encourages and enables teamwork and collaboration. If there's not a lot of yeses, you really want to dig under that to find out why is that? Is that because technology is rubbish and doesn't work half the time to help people do this? Is it because our processes are clunky and long and nobody, can get through anything? Is it because leaders tend to kind of hog their people and protect them and we don't collaborate and share knowledge enough? Is it because of physical space? No one's ever together, we're all at home, whatever it might be. You can really pick underneath those. I think another really important one is our organization has the skills and expertise it needs to achieve its objectives. If that's a no, clear gaps there across a number of things that you want to dig under. And then finally in the third area with leadership. So really, there's so many good questions, killer questions that you want to go for here. But I think to pull out kind of 3 or 4, our organization promotes open and transparent communication between our leaders and our people. Leaders in our organization take full accountability for their actions. Really key question. Leaders in our organization set clear goals which directly support our vision. Our organization has an effective business strategy for the next 1 to 3 years. Leaders in our organization see things through to completion. Really key questions there that get to, not just the vision and strategy piece. Is it there? Is it compelling? Do people get it? Do the leaders even get it? Because you'll be surprised if they don't. Are leaders held accountable? Do they act accountable? Are they accessible? Do I feel that I look up to them and they really are behaving as leaders of our business? So a ton of good questions there again, to dig under. So I hope that's been really useful. Do check out my other videos on the channel for more about culture change, how to tackle this really important topic for your business. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.